This is the Flabbergasted Podcast, where we just can't believe you haven't seen it.
Every episode, we discuss a movie that one of us has seen and the other hasn't.
And sometimes that neither of us have seen.
Follow us on Instagram
At flabberpod.
and subscribe in your podcast app of choice. I'm your host, Jessica.
I'm your host, Rogi. Let's get to it.
Today, we're talking about E.T., released in, E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial.
Did you have the colon in there?
No.
Is there a colon?
It's a hyphen.
Oh, it's a hyphen. Oh.
Released June 11th, 1982, rated PG, runtime 1 hour and 55 minutes, directed by Steven Spielberg. An alien is left behind on Earth and saved by the 10-year-old Elliot, who decides to keep him hidden in his home. While a task force hunts for the extraterrestrial, Elliot, his brother, and his little sister Gertie form an emotional bond with their new friend and try to help him find his way home.
Yeah, that's accurate. Who's it starring?
Starring Henry Thomas as Elliot, Drew Barrymore as Gertie, Robert McNaughton as Michael, Peter Coyote, Dee Wallace, and somebody cast as Pretty Girl.
Yeah. There's not that many named characters.
C. Thomas Howell is in this, and I don't know if you know him. He was in The Outsiders, like the
Book.
yeah, movies from that time, if you will. But I
I've heard the name
recognize his
associated
face
with old Hollywood.
Yeah, I recognize his face and kind of his voice, and I was just like, but this is the youngest I've ever seen him. I was like, he looks familiar. Do I know him? Like, I swear I know him. And I looked it up and I was like, oh my gosh, that is him. So that was a fun little experience. I didn't know that he was in this movie. You know, Drew Barrymore's in it because everybody everywhere is always talking about Drew Barrymore was in E.T. and it was like her first time and how they did all the extra things to make her believe it so that it was her performance is believable and everything. So that one's, you just know that's going to happen.
So I hadn't seen this movie since it's probably been like 30 years. Close to 30 years. I was probably 4 or 5 or 6 or something like that. And based on like what you're saying, all of the imagery and the iconography is always about Drew Barrymore with this alien. I kind of thought that she was the Elliot role, like the one that he bonds with and has the biggest relationship with him and stuff like that. And it's like, oh no, she's
the little sister.
Comic relief, like straight up comic relief. She's not really contributing to the emotional stakes of what's happening here. I mean, a little bit, but I mean, not that she does a bad job or anything. It's just, it's almost surprising. She's second on the call sheet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, all right. Older brother Mike does way more.
Yeah.
He's way more involved.
So things that I enjoyed about this movie, one, that house is kind of cool because it has like, I'm saying like a Jack and Jill bathroom, but a Jack and Jill closet.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is
that's what I'd call it.
Kind of fun.
Big bedrooms for those kids.
Huge.
Yes.
I'm also thinking, wow, cleaning up, that's a lot. We don't actually know what's going on with the dad, like really.
Well, it's a Spielberg movie, so there's some kind of divorce infidelity happening. He's in Mexico.
That was interesting. Yeah, he's in Mexico, but I don't really, what does that mean? Okay. They're playing D&D.
They were playing D&D. It's definitely old D&D. It's not exactly modern. Like the rule sets have changed since then, since the mid 80s. But it's interesting. D&D now is so pitched as being for nerds. It's like a smart kid because there's math and there's rules to remember and stuff. It's very nerd forward in terms of like how it's viewed culturally, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas back then it wasn't so much nerd. I mean, those kids were talking about story and like speaking pretty intelligently, but it's much more about them being like cultural outsiders. Like, oh, that's what like those kids play, like who aren't like part of, I don't know. It's sort of like Stranger Things, like they're not in the popular kids. I think so. I think that's that's certainly how Stranger Things portrays it. And let's just get out of the way now. Stranger Things steals so much from E.T. Every 10 seconds I'm going, Rachel, just like in Stranger Things, just like in Stranger Things. And I think that that's how we in 2026 are meant to think of the 80s, is that D&D was mostly a socially, for like people who are kind of like outside of the like popular kid mainstream part of school, because that was Satanic Panic.
I don't think we got enough of
We didn't
their
see
school
it.
life
Yeah,
to
not a
know,
ton.
because Michael's playing on the football team.
True. That's
Like,
true.
I mean, he's doing the things. So I don't know. I would be curious. I wonder if like that's how they want you to think, but realistically, was it like that, or was it just more widespread?
Yeah, I don't know.
If you had a group of friends, like, what are you going to do? Well, I mean, what are you going to do on a Friday night or Saturday night when you can't really do anything else? You don't have a license to go anywhere.
Here's my question. Since when does the pizza delivery driver just drop it off at the base of the
Yes.
driveway?
Yeah.
I've never seen this in popular culture. In real life, I've never seen it. If you had like a half-mile long gravel uphill driveway, you needed to go down
Porch
and meet
pickup.
them.
They were doing it first.
Yeah. So like, what's happening? Was this a thing? Do you remember this as a kid?
No.
Okay.
No, but let's keep in mind, if I want pizza delivered to my house, I have to drive 1.75 miles to meet them at the four-way stop to pick it up.
Your whole childhood.
No, we never ordered pizza here.
You literally never ordered pizza
We
here?
never ordered pizza here.
Wow.
We would pick up pizza and bring it home. But at my aunt's house in town, they always brought it to the door.
Yeah.
Rang the doorbell, picked up your pizza.
We had
Which, by the way, super awkward for people now. Like when somebody brings a pizza to the door and I don't want to get it, you get it. No, I don't want to get it. You basically already paid for it when you gave them your credit card over the phone 90% of the time. You already paid for it. You're just taking the box into the door. Like you don't have to say, like you can say hi, but you don't have to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yesterday we went to a sushi place in Syracuse, and there were 7 of us going, and Rachel and I are driving somewhere else. We were driving earlier in the day, and we're like, oh, maybe we should make we're driving back from a birthday party. Like, maybe we should make a reservation. I don't know if they do reservations. And I pulled up the number on my phone and hit dial and handed the phone to Rachel, because I didn't even, and she was perfectly pleasant. She was like, oh yeah, that's fine. Great. 7 people. Yeah. I mean, what time? Well, one works for you. Like I could have absolutely done it. And I have had jobs where I had to be on the phone with people, but I still, every chance I get will be like, no, someone else phone call. It's awkward.
yeah.
So I empathize with that a little bit. It was kind of hard for me to get a read on Mike. Like you said, he's a football player. And he wants to insult he's, calling him a dweeb or whatever. He's doing Big Brother stuff. But
He's
he plays
kind of a
D&D.
jerk.
He's kind of a jerk. But then as soon as he brings him home, he's like, oh, okay, well, we got to take care of this guy.
Yeah.
Like he's in. He goes and finds him and picks him up and carries him around. And he saves E.T.'s life. And
Yeah. One of the things that I really didn't like, but I realized is a thing of movies from that time, it's the yelling. Like the high volume, just yelling back and forth at each other that is almost overstimulating, which is saying a lot because I enjoy a lot of action movies. So I don't know why that was bothering me, but it was really bothering me. And I'm specifically thinking of when he first introduces him and he's like, you have to promise not to tell, you have to promise. And he's just like screaming at him, you have to promise not to tell. Like, okay, I promise, really, I'm not going to tell. And then, they have the whole introduction and it's a thing, but I was like, just get there already, guys. Come on.
Do you think that's like a realism thing? I mean, in real life, people yell,
Yeah. I mean, especially kids,
Yeah.
like, because they don't have a sense of, not all kids, okay?
Hashtag not all kids.
Yeah. They don't have a sense of like what is actually urgent versus what is not urgent. And like when they get excited, their volume goes up,
They don't.
So I think it's
many of them
real, but it was still annoying.
Making no effort to modulate their volume because they don't care if it's annoying to you.
Well, and they just don't realize that it's etiquette either.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like they're kids. They don't know that. So I think it's realistic, but it was a lot.
Interesting. So beginning of the movie, a lot of Mr. Keys walking around jangling his keys. And so I was kind of like, okay, the government equals bad guy, because they're going to take him and they're going to do experiments on him. And again, I am very much colored by Stranger Things. Right. We see them doing experiments. We see them messing with the kids. They don't understand the emotional bonds the kids have. And then E.T. goes to Elliot's house and Elliot takes him in. It's interesting because we kind of went through the arc of a whole season of Stranger Things, but in one movie.
Yeah.
Right? This is the first season of Stranger Things. Everyone's looking, one kid finds, but has to keep it a secret. And we have a part where he goes to school and they're separate, and that's not addressed at all. The thing where E.T.'s getting drunk and Elliot is also getting drunk.
So I don't know why there's a metaphysical tie or whatever connection there. Like, I don't know what value that is, except for us to I don't know why they're connected.
Yeah.
But it's
just part of him being an alien.
Yeah.
But then I guess it does matter at the end when like they're both dying.
That's where it gives you stakes.
Yeah. And when they're connected and they're connected medically. But then at that point, the government is trying. They're like, they are trying to, they don't want this alien to die. So they're kind of on the same page. Yeah, but they're not
actually, I feel like they were not paying attention.
To who?
I should have taken a better note on that. But I just remember thinking, he's telling you to leave him alone. Like, the little boy is telling you to leave him alone. Like,
boy.
Why are you still, well, not when they were trying to do like CPR and stuff, but also, how do you know CPR is going to work?
I get that. And I agree. You have no way of knowing if it's going to work.
Right.
But, okay, as opposed to what? You just don't try anything. No, he's sick.
That's true.
Dang.
That's true. But like when the little boy was sick, were they doing anything to help the little boy?
They were monitoring him. They were giving him oxygen. They were dripping stuff like into his IV.
There was an IV.
Yeah.
Okay.
They said a lot of medical IV pushing CCs type of words, as I recall.
I didn't love it.
So I'm just impressed by, like I said, we're able to condense the plot
of a whole season
of TV into a movie, but still give me the feels of we're in suburban America. This could happen to anyone. Mm-hmm. Here's this middle class house, and what does it look like when an alien comes in and is trying to interact with those different things? And he's got the TV situation. He's got the phone and the speak and spell. And
the speak and spell is really fun. I like
anytime there's like a 10-year-old boy going through the garage, picking up things that he thinks are tools that might be helpful. Mm-hmm. And it ends up because this alien's probably a genius about some things compared to what we are.
Yeah.
Like, that's very fun. Like, seeing.
Like, he probably is not the equivalent of a 10-year-old
alien,
absolutely. Right?
Yeah.
He could be.
I mean, Rocky in Project Hail Mary he doesn't know anything about some things, but it's an absolute genius, like with engineering type of stuff. So I think that's what brings me joy about this movie and brings me joy about Stranger Things is a kid who sees an issue and is taking it seriously, but from a kid and is going to then try to solve the situation using kid logic.
Yeah.
Right.
And everything that they know, which is not everything that you know because you've lived more years.
They're going to bring up potato chips and soft drinks to the alien. They're going to dress it up to try to...
Like a little grandma.
They're going to put him under a sheet to be Gertie or whatever. They're going to just grab random stuff out of the garage to try to go... And then go back to the same place that the spaceship landed. As though there's not going to be government agents just hanging out there.
I mean,
or when you set up a camera or something.
They don't know that.
I know, they don't know that.
Do they even have a camera?
It's fine that they don't know that because they're kids and that's what's endearing about it. So that's, I think, kind of a genre that I enjoy.
I like the scene when she's unloading the groceries and Gertie's trying to point out. First of all, she wasn't supposed to say anything to anybody, of course. Correct. And she is blabbering to her mom.
She's screwing it up.
Yep. And every time her mom walks by, E.T. goes the opposite direction. And they're just, I love that bit.
That's physical comedy. That's like Charlie Chaplin type of, yeah.
I love it. And then, she's talking as well. And that's entertaining.
Just the mom finding empty beer cans and being like, there's empty beer cans in my house. Like, the 80s were such a different time.
Like, what? Who was in your house, lady?
Maybe she thought Mikey.
Also, single mom has beer cans out. Don't get me wrong, if she likes beer, but does she really like beer?
They're probably her husband's, because I think it was a pretty recent thing that because everyone's still pretty emotional, and I think he just happens to be in Mexico right now, but they're probably still there from him, is my guess.
Okay, I'll buy it. I'll let it pass.
How do you feel about, you are the one that loves action movies, and we get an action set piece from they realize ET's awake all the way up until the bikes fly and then land. So how do we feel about how that's all executed?
That is so funny and hilarious because how much of that is practical?
Yeah.
Like all of it,
it's gotta
probably.
Be, yeah.
I mean, except like the bikes flying, but so much of that is practical, which I find entertaining. And yeah, I really did enjoy that. And it's like swinging as they're driving down, like the tube is swinging and as they're driving down the road and everything. And I thought it was interesting that they let Elliot go in and see ET and as he's grieving.
Well, that kind of speaks to the humanity of Mr. Keys.
Which
like they actually do
better.
care about ET, and they cared about this kid. They knew he had a connection to him. I mean, they could tell from the like medically that they were connected somehow. So
way better than a lot of the other doctor governmental scientists that you see in alien movies.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot more. He's a lot more sympathetic. So I think that speaks highly to him. That's kind of the like, he's in charge of this outfit, but that's only because he doesn't play by the rules.
Yeah.
Like you see those kinds of guys all the time.
I don't know why ET was left there to begin with. I mean, I know, I get it. He like sort of wandered off and then they had to leave abruptly.
Yeah.
But what were they doing on Earth?
My theory is that ET is the botanist. He's the plant expert. He's the Mark Watney, if you will, of this expedition. Because he's digging up a plant. Isn't he doing something with plants when the bunny runs away and he chases the bunny? Like he's the nature expert among the aliens.
I think he was just, I mean, I took that to be just as a kid who just got really distracted and started.
But then he later constructs a whole transmogrified communication machine.
Maybe they're really good at communications.
So I think that he was there to do that kind of stuff. My question is this. When the kids are escaping on the bikes, right? We're taking sharp turns. We're going up 3 yards and stuff. And that's all very good. I mean, the imagery of these kids on bikes are going to outsmart all the smartest scientists and the government people. And because they know the local ground and they actually care about ET, and there's the emotional stakes of those kids.
I mean, the kids don't actually care about ET. They care about their friends.
Yeah, but
they never meet ET.
They would.
They would have, yeah.
They like see him or whatever.
They're also like, that's pretty good friends to.
Mm-hmm. They're ride or die. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's how it was.
You don't have that as much.
No. Well, kids don't just ride around bikes like that and kind of own the town in the same way that they used to. But then, so they're getting cornered by the vans and then they have to fly. Right? ET flies them, very much like something Elle would do. Elle flips the van in Stranger Things. And once he flies them and he lands them like they're going into the forest, then suddenly there's no more urgency. Right? We're just good. We can take time. We can say goodbye. We can do hugs. Yeah. We can do neck extensions. And so that took me out of it a little bit, that no one was hurrying at that point, because Keys got there. Right? Mr. Jangle Keys made it there to say goodbye. Or the mom does. The mom does for sure. The mom and Gertie do. Drew Barrymore. So clearly, I mean, obviously that's where it's going to land again. That's the only landing station in the world for a spaceship. The fact that they don't have someone up there guarding it wouldn't have served the plot.
I mean, one, we don't know what the government knows, so we don't know that it's the only landing station.
Classic government, can't do anything right.
But we also don't know that the appropriate information was trickled down to all of the employees, which is classic government, eyes only type stuff. So maybe they didn't know.
Could be.
Where the landing site was supposed to be. So they weren't preemptively stationing somebody there.
Maybe they got Men in Blacked.
Maybe they were like, oh, he's a dead alien, so we don't need anybody there because they're not coming back.
Yeah. A little short-sighted. That's true. Yeah, I mean, why would you assume that they're going to come back? It's been 4 days or whatever and they haven't come back yet. What did we think about letting the frogs out? I didn't totally understand how that was connected to what ET was feeling at the time. Because prior to that, it was a lot of
their
connection.
Shared feelings.
We're emphasizing the connection. Then he starts freaking out and dumps all the frogs out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on board with that because I didn't like how they were explaining. Again, I should have taken a note on this because I didn't like how he was explaining it, but he's like, we're just going to drop this chloroform, that I'm not using gloves to like
Yes.
drop in the jars.
Just go ahead and seal it up.
And then your frog is just going to go to sleep. No, your frog is like dying.
Yeah.
Like they were not explaining that very well. Also, isn't Elliot a little to be dissecting a frog?
A live frog. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's around the age when we would have been. We did that in 7th grade, but it was pre-dead. You got him dead, and then you checked it out from there.
Didn't it say he's like 10 though?
Yeah, so he's a couple years younger. He's maybe 2.5 years under when I would have thought. But back in the 80s, I mean, that's all science class was. Science class was either combining 2 different chemicals to make an explosion, or you're dissecting something.
I never had to dissect anything. Or I have, and I've blocked it.
I opted out. I was like too squeamish. You can't make me.
Yeah, that one was weird. I didn't mind them getting rid of the frogs, but I didn't understand how it was connected. And this is my whole thing. It's just a
comedy scene.
If they were not, the only reason them being connected is a thing and gives us anything is because when they get sick at the end. So does Elliot get sick because E.T.'s sick because he's away from home? Or does E.T. get sick because Elliot got a cold or whatever?
Interesting.
Like we don't actually know.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of information. And I think that's why, like, that's what you get when you stretch it into a whole season of Stranger Things. You get a lot more
to do the exposition about that. Yeah, I mean, I think there's
not
something,
that you need it.
Right. Because it's really,
but
if we're honest,
it.
It's more about the emotional part of like, you see like the bond that these two formed so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, could we make analogies to, I mean, he's literally an alien, you know, do we look at like immigration? Back in the 80s was a hot button issue as it is now, you know, and like how quickly you can connect with an alien, you know, quote unquote.
Somebody that you think you have nothing in common with.
Yeah, but then he ends up being able to speak some English and is a quick learner and cares about and does like healing stuff, right? He heals his finger and can make the plants bloom and things like that. So I think the movie does a really successful job at showing us. It just makes you feel good. Like this is something you're rooting for right away. I mean, we quickly get over the idea of him being scary.
Yeah.
As audience members, it's not about scary, and this is a classic Spielberg thing. Have you seen Disclosure Day?
Yeah.
Okay. This is classic Spielberg. He doesn't think aliens are scary. He's like, what if the aliens are super freaking chill? What if the aliens are like, what's up, dude?
I mean, we need people making movies like that because we have in movies like Independence Day, and you need the balance there so that you don't overcorrect.
But also Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Right? Aliens can be cool. But also the childlike wonder of kids. Because if the first house he'd knocked on was a little old lady who got scared, she's calling the cops. That guy's getting vivisected.
Yep.
In 36 hours.
Yeah.
He's not hanging out. They're not going to interview him. They're not going to speak. They're not going to give him a speaking spell. They're not going to teach him be good.
Right.
So I think it's a good reminder it's about childlike innocence and wonder and curiosity and being willing to go out of your way for someone that you just met, but like have a gut feeling that it's important. Right? I mean, could Elliot have necessarily communicated, well, they're just going to do experiments on him. It's going to be bad if the government gets him. I don't know if he would have been able to say those things, right? He just knew in his gut that he belongs in kind of a family setting with people that love and care about him. So sometimes kids are the best option for handling something like that. And we're so quick I think society is so quick to, get out of the way and let the adults handle it type of stuff instead of like looking at it through the eyes of a child.
Well, it's that whole risk thing. As you grow, you learn more about risk. And then you have you're constantly, some people are not doing this at all, but other people are constantly calculating the consequences of what their actions are.
Yeah.
And so in this instance, I'm thinking, can I get sick if I touch this thing? What is it going to do to anybody that I come in contact with? Like, is this going to kill me right now? Like, I'm thinking of all those things and he's just thinking, oh, that's a cool little looking thing. Can it talk?
Yeah.
What can we do?
I wonder if that connects back to the D&D part at all. Right, these are the kind of kids that are already working with imagination.
Yeah.
Right, we know Elliot's been wanting to get a character in the game. And so he's wondering, okay, what would it be like if I had a friend that, how far are we from Goblin when we look at ET, or an orc or a bugbear or a gnome or whatever other D&D race you want to compare him to. So he was already more ready than the average bear to accept something. They're
already
happening.
Leaning into a creative outlet space, like learning something new with the D&D and like having that empathy that comes with storytelling, because you are telling a story and you're acting as another character. So you're already building that empathy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're already a group of kids that are no stranger to that. So I think I think it helps, of course.
And that's what's happening in society today when kids don't read. And I mean, that's another way to build sympathy and empathy, is putting yourself in the shoes of a protagonist or in the mind of like a first person narration, a story like a young adult literature or like early, fantasy novels or whatever. There's so many kids that don't read, that reading was not fun when they were growing up. They weren't taught it early enough. It became hard. It became a chore. And they don't get it when I'm trying to explain.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you a better person. I hadn't thought about that. Like what you're saying, the putting yourself in someone's shoes. I try to tell kids, like, you can experience the world and you can just see all kinds of different stories and like things you wouldn't have heard of and things you wouldn't have considered. But the empathy of either telling a story or reading a story and it's saying I in a book. Eventually you're going to be thinking, I am Katniss, or I am, Frodo or Harry or whoever it is. So I am Elliot. Why couldn't
that could be me?
Why couldn't little Billy be Elliot? One day I could be the kid who he knocks on. And I think that's Spielberg, right? Is he's like, when I was a kid, that could have been me. And I would have been like, hey, bud, and let's high five and I'll teach you how to say surf's up or whatever kind of stuff Spielberg was doing. So for me, I mean, I was excited to watch E.T. I hadn't watched it in a long time, and I knew that it was about a little alien, and I thought it was that Drew Barrymore became his friend, and that they went and hung out in town and did little hijinks. But Elliot latching onto him, obviously, Mike caring about him, Gertie caring about him. I thought it was really fun. Like,
even
it gave
the
me good
mom
hits.
Was like, she was kind of killing it when she like got on board.
Yeah, it took her. Yeah, I mean, and it's not her fault that it takes a second to wrap your head around what's going on.
She doesn't know.
She's been in my house for how long?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
But when she finds out, well, okay, she's freaked out for a minute because she doesn't know what it is. She doesn't know what he is. Or she. I mean, we all assumed it was a he, but
true.
Could be a she.
True, so true.
She doesn't know about it. And so she's trying to pull the kids away. And then immediately when the government shows up, she's like, this is my house, and she moves into like defense mode. Like, she's, even though she's a very back side character, like she's staying really present as far as like as much as she can.
Yeah, because as much as she can is right. I mean, she's got 3 kids and she's got to take Gertie to school at a different time and trying to go to the grocery.
But they're not kicking her out.
That's interesting that they do it right there. They're like, this is the house that's been contaminated by alien. Let's just set up shop.
Yeah. Which is so crazy, because how long has this alien been just roaming around? And then when we find out we're going to set up the clean room and the safe zones and everything. Yeah.
Clearly, not everything he touches in the world just burns up.
Right.
Like, he wore lipstick at one point,
Mm-hmm.
If you actually talk to the kids and really think about it logically, as opposed to like immediate science, let's do experiments, that kind of stuff. Because on the one hand, maybe an alien here, everything he touches does turns into ash immediately. Like, we don't know. But
then you would have had a much easier time tracking him.
Yeah, for sure.
So like, you got to think about it a little differently.
You're just skipping logical steps, right? Yeah. You're like, if you see a spaceship come down, fair to be concerned. If you see, that alien's been here for a while, okay, let's shift my mindset to, let me get an understanding of what's been going on, not just immediately go to, we got to rule out that he's dangerous.
Yeah.
That guy, if that would have presented by now.
Right. Yeah, because they were looking for him since the spaceship, because they saw the spaceship.
What was your background with E.T.? If we can get to the top of the pod question here.
I don't think I've ever actually seen it. Like, I think this
Oh,
is my first
wow.
actual scene. Like, I think I've seen parts
This is
of it,
a double flab.
but I don't think I don't think I've seen the whole thing all the way through, like, ever one time. So this was really me just sitting down and starting the movie and watching it all the way through.
And I haven't been as excited to do that for a flabbergasted movie in a long time. I mean, not that I don't like a lot of the movies that we do, but this is just one that everyone says is a popcorn flick. It's family. It's a rollicking, fun, good time. You know, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to feel it. It's going to hit the emotional beats.
This movie is so referenced in everything that there's no way you can avoid a spoiler. Like, you know, E.T.'s an alien. You know, he comes to Earth. You know
the
he
kids
leaves.
fly on bikes.
Yeah. You know, the kids fly on bikes. You know, the E.T. phone home bit. Like, like, you know it.
I thought there was going to be more E.T. phone home. I thought that was going to be a bigger part of it. He says it like twice.
Yeah. He's like, I got to call my Uber.
Yeah.
So that was really mine. So if you think about the release time, 86, right? This was way early for me to have seen it in a theater or anything like that. I just wouldn't have seen it. And it's not a movie that we would have like rented. Like, it would have been out for a while. We wouldn't have rented it. It just was too early for me. To have like a really big experience with it, I think. Although I say that, and a lot of the other movies, you know, we just saw later on, you know, your TV channels or whatever. So
yeah,
it just seemed that E.T. was one that got missed.
Something on cable. And that happens. I mean, that's kind of the point of the podcast. I think, again, for the last time, it is crazy how much the Duffer Brothers were writing Stranger Things, and they were like, what if E.T. was a full season? Like, so much of the same stuff. And I love Stranger Things, and there's always just this ineffable, we're in the 80s, and look what the houses were like, and the shag carpet, and the oblivious parents, and it takes you back to childhood somehow. From a childhood that I didn't experience when I watched Stranger Things, and this did such a good job of hitting that for me. So I really appreciated E.T., and it makes me want to go back and watch more old Spielberg stuff that I haven't seen.
I liked it. So I knew, you know, there were no spoilers, or there was no way you were going to get spoiled. You knew what was happening the whole time, but I was still engaged, and I still wanted to keep watching it. Yeah. Like, I didn't go, let's fast forward or anything.
I mean, he's cute, and you want him to succeed. Yeah.
One of the things I remember saying is, I love that they put him in the little ghost costume, but when you look at the outside, the eyes are totally crooked. But when you're looking through E.T.'s eyes, they're totally where they're supposed to be.
Because his eyes are crooked. So they have to be. That's because his eyes are farther apart?
They were like this way.
Oh. He's holding it. That's funny.
If he was tilting his head, maybe. But then when you're looking through his eyes, like, the holes, like, because it looks like you're looking through the pinholes, they're like right next to each other. So I just remember thinking that was a little goofy.
The magic of showbiz.
But that was fun how they did that. They really made you feel like you were viewing it inside the costume, because there was even like a little like sway to what you were viewing, like how he was walking.
Yeah.
Well, so that was really fun.
And like you said, so much of it is practical. Right? Yeah. We see the neck extension E.T. That's kind of a famous pose of his, is when he has long neck. But a lot of the time he's just waddling around like a little loaf of bread with like feet, not even legs, just feet. Just going
long feet.
Like barely moving. And him getting up the ramp back into his ship, we're like, is he going to make it? Like, can he?
Jeremy looked it up because I asked if they had how many color variations they had, because right as he's getting sick, like he gets lighter and whiter,
he gets drained, washed out.
And he looked it up, and there were obviously different puppets for different things, but that was one of the questions I had from a practical standpoint. Did they just kind of paint the one that they had? Did they make a bunch of them? Like, how did they do that?
Yeah, that's always so interesting to remember about how movies aren't usually shot in order.
Mm-hmm.
Except for, isn't it like Tom Holland movies? They have to do it that way so that like the character he doesn't spoil it, because he just gets confused, or like there's some actor that they have to shoot. They try to shoot their movies from beginning, like first scene to last scene, so that like the actors can like kind of be surprised as they're living it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know who that would be, but yeah, I get it.
It's got to be hard to be like, okay, in this scene, this is how you're supposed to feel. And you're like, well, I haven't shot the scene that makes me feel that way yet. You know?
I do think that I really enjoy that about making movies. Like, there's so much more than what you just see on the screen happening.
Oh yeah.
And when you can just appreciate that as well, it's like it's this whole creative thing that so many people have a piece of and contribute to making it this one thing that we watch for 2.5 hours and go, man, I didn't love it. Which is why I usually say it was good, but I probably won't watch it again versus I hated
You're
it.
trying to be nice about it.
It was horrible.
E.T. I thought was really good and I would watch again. It can give me a hit of Stranger Things without watching a whole season of Stranger Things.
Yeah. So your takeaway, your life lesson from E.T. is be curious.
Yeah.
Have wonderment.
Be open-minded to experiences, I think. And be empathetic.
Be empathetic, for sure.
Been working on, will continue to work on. Doesn't always come naturally.
Well, I don't think that it is something that is just supernatural for everybody either. Yeah. Like you have to build it. You have to practice it. And
it's hard to get that ball rolling because if someone isn't naturally empathetic, then it's hard to see. It can be difficult to show them the value.
To identify where, Yeah, it is definitely tricky. That would be my takeaway from E.T. too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Will I watch it again? If it's on TV or whatever, maybe. Will I seek it out? I don't know.
I can see it almost being like a Halloween time movie.
Yeah.
Sort of like fall comfort, sort of snuggle up. But it's also summer blockbustery. I mean, it's warm out. Like the sun's out the whole time because it's set in California.
But they do Halloween because she's wearing the costume.
So that's why it might fit at Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dog, it's barely in it, but kind of in it.
Yeah. He does a good job. I like that because he runs with the boys on the bikes to the park, and then they have to do step 2 once they get him out of the van. And I'm like, yeah, he was showing him where the park was. Like, we couldn't have done it without him. Bandit?
Maybe,
I want to say Bandit for some reason. I thought he was a good boy. He did a good job.
He was entertaining. I liked it. But I like the dogs, so.
Yeah. Folks, if you think there's something we missed about Steven Spielberg's 1986 E.T. Extra-Terrestrial.
E.T. space.
Not hyphen?
Hyphen in extra-terrestrial.
E.T. space extra -terrestrial?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was E.T. extraterrestrial. And then you're like, no, it's a hyphen.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, E.T.
Yeah.
extraterrestrial.
Yeah, I think that's weird because I didn't think it was 2 words like that.
Yeah. We'd love to hear what you think. I'd love to hear, there's so many connections to Stranger Things. I mean, just them on the bikes is iconic. Jumping over the vans versus flipping the vans, and him doing telekinesis, and him getting dressed up in a wig and a dress, and all kinds of things. So I'd love to hear Stranger Things ET connections. We'd love to hear from you on the flabberpod, which you can find, the flabber, what's it called? Our bento box.
Yeah, but I forgot what it's
You
called.
can find us on social media, and we'll have all of the links will be available there on our profile on Instagram, on whatever platform you use to download this. We'd love to hear from you. We have a hotline that's linked on there as well. We'll see you again next time for covering all 5 seasons of Stranger Things.
Bye.
Bye.